So we're looking at my Fiat 500 Abarth. This is the Cabrio. I've got this weird thing happening in the center of my spoiler. From what I can tell, it seems like this center area is supposed to be raised, but I've got some kind of weird foam or something underneath in the center that looks pretty bad. I have no idea if it's supposed to be there or not. Maybe somebody stuck it in there and it doesn't belong there. I don't know. So I am going to remove the spoiler to see what that is and find out how I can make it at least look better if it's going to be visible. To do that, we're going to need to be inside the car, and I already have some of the preparation completed back here. So we need to separate the headliner from this channel here. So there's a channel here in the window, or right above it rather. This plastic channel has a bunch of areas all the way along here where the headliner clips in to that into that area. It's curved on the ends. There's some separation between the plastic retainer here, and then there's a straight section, and then it's curved on the other end too. So all I did was I just pulled it out gently, starting from one edge. I started at one edge over here, pulled it out gently, and worked my way all the way across until it was free. And now what I'm looking at is the bolts for the spoiler. There should be 4 of them, and I'm gonna take those out and see what it looks like. Alright, so I also unvelcroed. You can see there's this Velcro strip here. I pulled it off of the roof here. I pulled that back just to get more room. And you can see the screws here. There's 2 sets, right? So there's a lower set and there's an upper set. The upper set are the ones for the spoilers. It takes a T25 Torx, and there's 4 of them, and I unscrewed those, and I didn't pull them all the way out of the Cabrio top. I'm letting the top hold on to them. And now we're gonna go outside and take a look at the spoiler and see if it comes off, and take a look at what this thing is under here. All right. So it does lift up pretty easily. You can see underneath, you can see where the bolts are. You can see the holes in the spoiler for that. And then we can see what the heck this thing is. It still looks like a piece of foam or something. So I'm gonna pull the spoiler off and get a better look. So here it is. This is the piece of rubber or foam or whatever it was that was stuck in there. It was wrapped in like fiber tape. So this is like some type of fiber tape stuff, and it was glued with like fabric glue along the bottom here. You can see how shiny it is. The fabric glue was in the center, right here in this area. Now, is it supposed to be there? I really have no idea. I guess it is, but it sure looks like garbage, because you could see this fabric tape coming off and looking pretty nasty. So I'm gonna clean this up, put some new black fabric tape on it. I'm gonna spray some fabric adhesive to it. Or maybe I might just glue it to the spoiler. That might be what I do. So I'm using this this Maxwell. This is PET fleece tape. I use this to wrap wires and other stuff if it makes noises or rattles inside of a car. I put it on the bottom of that rubber strip, so now it's got some new black fleece, so that should blend in more nicely. I need to clean this area up. I need to figure out how to disconnect the wiring for that brake light so that I can clean all this up and then find out if there's any glue residue on the roof or if it's on the spoiler, and figure out where this thing was glued to. It definitely was stuck to the Cabrio top when I pulled it off, so we'll see where I stick it. And this is just a bolt for the Cabrio spoiler. It fell out when I was moving the spoiler around, so I've got it up on top, that's all. So I decided not to remove the electrical connector because every time I do that I wind up breaking an electrical connector, and it seemed kind of, it was in a tight spot. So anyway, what I've got right now, I've just got the spoiler taped onto the roof using some green painter's tape just to keep it in place until I can finish this later today. And I think I am going to glue this to the spoiler. It was stuck to the Cabrio top, but I see a spot on the spoiler where it had made contact at some point in its life. I think maybe the amount of gunk that was underneath the spoiler and the fact that this itself is sticky was somehow sticking it to the Cabrio top when it was supposed to be stuck to the spoiler. So gonna get some sticky stuff for that. Alright, so I have no idea why this thing actually exists, but I decided not to reinvent the wheel. It's kind of like a closed cell foam type thing, and I've got some weather stripping that is also closed cell foam. It's fairly thick, they're pretty close to the same thickness, so I'm just going to cut some to the same length, and it's already sticky, so then I'll just stick it onto the spoiler. Okay, so I've got that strip stuck onto the spoiler right here. It's kind of in the center. This is where that rubber thing was kind of stuck to the Cabrio top. Anyway, that's that. So now I'm going to put it back together. Alright, so now that centerpiece looks like that. So that's much better than that dirty, falling apart piece of like fabric or whatever that was hanging out of there. I need to cinch the spoiler down all the way, so that might actually close that gap some more, so let's find out. Okay, it's fully cinched down now. It looks like it tightened up the gap a little bit. Obviously there's still a gap, so it is what it is. The gap, like I said, I think is supposed to be there to maybe allow drainage from this section of the roof. Because otherwise, I don't know how the water in the center would get off of the roof, I guess. So I guess it's supposed to let water through. And I'm guessing that piece of closed cell foam was supposed to keep the water from being directed back to the brake light, but I really don't know. I can't find it on any of the schematics. I can't find it as a part for sale. It doesn't look like it is attached to any of the new spoilers that I've found online or on eBay. So yeah, well, I put a new strip of closed cell foam in there and tightened it back up, so now I'm just going to put the headliner back up and that'll be it.